How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I have for you guys something a little bit different. It's going to be a throwback to MLB The Show 17. I'm actually going to hop onto this game and play some ranked seasons. This version of MLB The Show is probably the one that I fell in love with. I started out playing MLB The Show in 16 and then really got into it in 17, and with this game there's a lot of content. I really enjoyed using some of these cards in the previous upload that I did about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to include another gameplay and a couple games of ranked seasons in this video. I really like using some of these cards that we don't necessarily see in MLB The Show 18 or 19, like Jimmy Rollins, Carlos Beltran, the 99 David Wright, as well as a couple others. I have the flashback, or I guess the finest version of Giancarlo Stanton in the lineup as well. We will be mixing up the lineup a little bit. Last time I had live series Mike Trout in there. This time I'll be using Stanton, the postseason George Springer, and just kind of mixing it up. But we do have the creative player up after hitting a solo shot to start this game off with Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy Rollins was always one of my favorite players to use in this game. Just the fact of his switch hitting ability, his speed. He also had really good power in this game. One of the best shortstops, but I was able to get a nice hit and run early on in this game. I'm trying to be aggressive. It seemed like this opponent was a pretty good player. He has a really good team as well. You never know what you're going to match up against when you're playing a game that's not really in its game cycle. It might take a little bit to join a game, and then you never know if you're going to play somebody with an all-bronze team, an all-silver team, or all-diamond. So, and fortunate enough in this one, we will be going up against a team that's pretty evenly matched, I would say, for what I would expect in MLB The Show 17. This guy's got a lot of diamonds. He also has Corey Kluber on the mound, so that's nice. I don't really know what happened on that last play. We kind of lagged a little bit. I thought for sure I would be able to advance 34 speed to third base, but he got thrown out in Joey Votto. But this opponent was a little bit late to start this game off. I felt like he was also kind of just hopping back onto this one. Maybe he hadn't really played this one in a little bit, but I mean, I was also doing the same. I felt like it would just be a great game to just get right into it, hop into a ranked seasons, and I'm going up against somebody who's also a level diamond 100 and has a lot of good players. So this should be a good game here. We are up by a couple runs early in this one, but this opponent started to settle down with Kluber a little bit. I've always seen Corey Kluber pretty well in MLB The Show. I mean, I hit him extremely well in this year's game, and he also had a all-star version. I believe he had his live series, which was a 96, and then he also had a version with the Indians, a different one that was the all-star version, also a 96, I believe. And both of them, I faced them quite a bit because they're very good pitchers in the game, but for whatever reason his motion just wasn't that deceptive. But the opponent is knocking a nice double the other way. That was finest Lindor. And I mean, this guy has a good team. He's got the 95 overall Chipper Jones coming up to the plate in the leadoff spot. He smacks a base hit the other way, and I was able to keep him from scoring on that one. Got the ball in rather quickly. I have Reggie Jackson out in right field. But another guy that I like to use in this game is Joe Mauer behind the dish. Joe Mauer is probably the best catcher in this game, at least because of his swing. But there's Carlos Beltran with a no-doubter off of the brick wall out there in right field at Baltimore Orioles Stadium. That was an absolute missile. Sent off the bat at 114 exit velocity with early good feedback. So, I mean, some of the same hit results that we see in MLB The Show 18, 19 as well. So, I mean, it's nice to see that. I mean, I saw some similarities as well in this game so far. Some just late hits, some good squared up hits. I guess squared up wasn't a thing in this year's game, but I guess good, and some early swings that were also rewarded. But I was able to go back-to-back home runs against this opponent. Just started off this inning pretty hot, homering with Carlos Beltran, Joey Votto, and then Giancarlo Stanton. Later on in the inning, 99 David Wright is going to knock a base hit up the middle. That card absolutely destroyed lefties. I was always excited to use that card. Even against righties, he was pretty good. But I had an opportunity to kind of break this game open here in this inning. I mean, I'm not really playing for like any rating points at all. I'm honestly just playing for fun, playing for a good matchup, trying to have fun with a game that's a little bit older and a game that's out of the game cycle. But at the same time, this game is still a lot of fun. The content is really good. I wish I had a few more players I could kind of mix in and out, but after that one, the opponent kind of just quit out of that game after that foul ball. This next opponent we are going up against has a much worse team, but at the same time, you never know. This guy could be an absolute beast at the game. He has a lot of silvers on his squad, a couple bronze cards in there as well. He's also a bronze level opponent, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, you can also pick this game up for 20 bucks, get some silver players, and hop into a ranked seasons game. I mean, it's actually probably cheaper than $20 at this point anyway. I mean, I think I picked up MLB The Show 16 last year for like less than $5. I wanted to mix it up and test that game out a little bit. I always just like going back and playing some older games. That's just my style, as well as I enjoy all the baseball games that MLB The Show has released. So I look forward to playing MLB The Show 19 when MLB The Show 20 is out, or 21, going back and checking that game out, kind of comparing some of the content, comparing some of the stuff that happened in the actual game as well. But we do have Vita Blue on the mound. We were up 1-0 once again in this one. Hit a solo shot with Jimmy Rollins early in this game, actually to lead off the ball game. Pretty nice facing Danny Duffy. He's actually kind of shutting me down after that. I only had that one hit up until this point. I know it's only the second inning. But against the silver card, you sometimes can swing at pitches out of the zone or be over-aggressive, try and hit everything. It's just something that I was just really excited to play the game. Could also come into effect. But this Reggie Jackson is an absolute beast. I was able to hit a couple home runs with him the last time I was using him, but here's a line out to the warning track, a good squared up hit that went to the wall. So I mean, we see it in both games. I noticed it probably a little bit more in MLB The Show 19, but I did want to mention that as well, something that I noticed. But I was able to get the gold bar of confidence earlier on in this game. It's much easier to locate pitches. I noticed that with the feedback on the pitch meter. It's much easier to locate pitches where you want to, especially with some of the better pitchers in the game. I had a lot of 99 overalls, but there's Joe Mauer sending a double into the gap, lefty. He's more of a contact hitter against lefties. He had a lot of power versus righties, but there you could see that quick compact swing, smacking that one into the gap. In this next one, I figured I would mix up the pitching rotation as well as mix in George Springer in center field, actually left field. I would use, I put R.A. Dickey in the lineup just because I had him on the squad. I didn't really think that I would get him selected, but here he is. He is pitching on the mound, so we got the knuckleballer. If you guys are unfamiliar with R.A. Dickey, this card was probably one of the best pitchers in the game, even though he was a 92 overall. The way that the pitching worked in this one, it was pretty easy to control the pitches that R.A. Dickey threw. He also threw the knuckleball at a pretty good speed. So there were a few knuckleballers in this game. There was Louis Tiant as well as Phil Niekro and R.A. Dickey. So we see those guys, and we see those guys throughout MLB The Show as well. But I think this was the last time R.A. Dickey was in the game. So I figured, why the heck not? Let's go ahead and try and use him. I don't plan on using him the full game. I just want to test him out for a couple innings, just because I had him on the team. I also noticed that he was going for a ton of stubs on the market in this year's game. That tends to happen sometimes when cards that were going for cheaper on the market, once the game cycle's over, then sometimes they can jump back up in price. Just depends, because nobody's really playing that game. But anyway, this is the postseason George Springer. I flew out to the warning track dead center. A good hit, but it was a fly ball and just under it with the PCI. But this Reggie Jackson, once again, lining one to center field. That one is going to get down. The opponent tried to dive for it, and I'm going to go for third on this one. The way that the fielders throw the ball in and the way that the base runners run the bases in this year's game was also a little bit different. They don't throw the ball in as quick, and the base runners run a little bit faster. But David Wright's going to smack that one to center field. That one also doesn't have the distance, even though he has almost maxed out stats against lefties. However, it is going to be a sac fly, and that one's going to send the runner in from third base. So that's going to be a 2-0 ball game. Joe Mauer up once again. This was a power swing. Joe Mauer's swing has also changed over the years in MLB The Show. This was definitely the best version of his card, and the one that I saw that most people have success with. But anyway, there's a knuckleball facing, that was Gary Sanchez. Now we're going up against the postseason version of George Springer. This guy also had a couple of the finest cards, a couple of the postseason program cards as well. That was a pretty easy program to complete. Like, if you just got this game today, you could honestly probably finish that postseason program in a couple of hours, maybe a couple of days, playing it casually, and you'd be able to unlock like several diamonds for your Diamond Dynasty team. So that was something that they implemented later on in the game for people to just kind of get the game late and get it still a pretty good budget team. But we are able to kind of shut them down after giving up that solo shot against George Springer. Now we have an opportunity here after drawing a walk with the creative player. We have Carlos Beltran coming up, who already has a no-doubter in this video. Definitely the best card in this game all around, I would say. There are a couple other cards that I think are really good. The Andre Dawson was a really nice card in this game. I will be posting a screenshot onto my Twitter, because if we get a Signature Series Dawson and it'll be the show 19, I think that he could be one of the best cards in the game and actually rival Ken Griffey Jr., Willie Mays, guys like that in the outfield. But what a play from David Wright right here. Down the line, he's making the play, a jump throw. So 2-1 game. This guy's got the gold Dallas Keuchel in the game. Definitely a good pitcher. George Springer is going to start this next inning off with a base hit through the left side there. A little bit of lagging in this gameplay. There's nothing really I can do about it. It's just matched up who I matched up against. Hopefully the lag is at a minimal for you guys in this video. But I really had a ton of fun creating this video, creating the gameplay, and so far in this one we are starting to hit a little bit better. Couple games of ranked seasons included into one video is always a little bit tougher to go ahead and edit, but at the same time I think that this is a lot of fun. I plan on doing this in the future as well. Let me know what you guys think as David Wright sends one out for a home run. We hit a good amount of home runs so far with some of the guys in the lineup. I ended up taking out R.A. Dickey at that situation right there. Brought in Giancarlo Stanton and hit a no-doubter. He ended up quitting after that. Definitely a fun video to play, and went up against a couple good opponents in this one. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, guys, peace out.